back to the market. Now, earlier on, I was enjoying my delicious breakfast of fried eggs on toast, and it got me thinking about making a really fantastic special brunch, which is Eggs Benedict. Now, I've got the muffins already, and the other ingredients I've got, instead of using the bacon, I've got some very nice Serrano ham that I'm going to be using, some lovely butter, a lemon, eggs, a little bit of white wine vinegar. So let's start with the eggs. When it comes to poaching your eggs, there's various methods. But I think one thing we all agree on, you've got to have very fresh eggs. I've got a saucepan here. I'm going to put a little bit of vinegar in, which will help the egg to set. And I'm going to crack my egg, my very fresh egg, into a little bowl or a cup or a ramekin. In it goes. A vigorous vortex going here. And once it's swirling nicely, just slip the egg into the centre. You can see it's moving around really nicely in the pan, and that's going to shape it into a nice shape. So I've got these fantastic muffins that I bought from the stall earlier. I'm just going to halve them. Now, in fact, you know the correct way to halve an English muffin is with a fork. I was taught this by an American, but apparently you fork it all the way around like this, and it's in order to get the fantastic texture, whereas if you cut it with a knife, you end up with a flat surface. This way, you get the rough surface. So all the way around, and then twist. Right, let's get those muffins. I'm going to toast them very lightly on my griddle pan, just to warm them up, because you don't want a cold muffin, not for your brunch. Okay, leave those for a few minutes. Let's have a look at this egg. Now, he's risen nicely. I'm glad he hasn't stuck to the bottom. And if I get hold, you can see it's just set, but the centre is still nice and wobbly. So I'm going to put it into this bowl of holding water. Make sure it's nice and hot. Do it from a kettle and just leave it in there. I'm going to quickly turn over my muffins. Very nice. Now, the star of the show is the hollandaise sauce itself. Now, you can buy it in jars or in cartons in the supermarket and warm it up, but it is easy to make yourself, and you know, you're going to feel proud of yourself, and much cheaper as well to make it yourself. So we need 2 egg yolks into the food processor. Now, the eggs are going to cook very gently. They're going to thicken and emulsify the sauce into a really rich, buttery, yummy sauce that makes Eggs Benedict so delicious. Pop the yolk in. Back to the wine vinegar. I'm going to put a tablespoon in here just to warm it up with half a lemon. I'm just going to give the yolks a little bit of a blitz with a pinch of salt. So easy, this, you know. Little blitz. Now I've got some nice bubbles, so I'm ready to add this in. Now I'm going to tip it in and whiz. Now for the butter. Now, I've got some fantastic looking butter here, and I need 100 grams, which is about that much of the block, into cubes and back into the same pan. Now, the idea is to pour it into the blender in a slow, steady stream. And if you look here, mine's got quite a small little slot for adding in. So I'm going to pour my butter into a jug. So blender on. Okay, now that should be really thick and creamy, just as we want our hollandaise to be. So I'm going to plate up, and I better get a move on. Now let's get those eggs out of their holding water. On they go. So my 2 toasted muffin halves. Now remember, this is when you might be using crispy bacon. I'm going to put in my Serrano ham on. Poached egg on top of each. Oh, there we go. And time for the hollandaise. And spoon it generously over the top. Big grinding of black pepper. It's my favourite brunch ever. It's Eggs Benedict.
This is nice though, very nice. I think it's something you could do quite easily.
Excellent. Just what I need on a day like this.
It looks quite impressive on the plate with a little bit of sauce and things.
That's really good. And actually, I could probably do this at home, and I think it would impress my friends.
So save your money and don't spend a fortune in a posh restaurant. Make your own brunch at home. Very easy, just as delicious. It's my Eggs Benedict.